run by talcerase. Take it away, folks.
Hello, and thank you for donating for this. This was, the Count Gooby was the one that actually reached out to me. It was like, hey, we want to do something with music, and I know you do music. I am talcerase. Joining me is...
Hello, I'm Limey. I like rhythm games, and also I am a musician.
Yeah. Just to kind of give a little background on this, I've been playing French horn for over 20 years, started back in 5th grade. I actually have my degree in music. I've been doing composition for... I'm thinking about it now. It's been 19 years.
That's older than some people at this convention.
Yeah, that's older than some of our viewers at home, and I'm just thinking like, yeah, okay, we got this.
Your compositions can vote.
That is true. Some of those compositions I probably wouldn't want them to, but and then to kind of put it into perspective, like I said, almost 20 years of composition arranging. Since January of 21, I have done over 100 arrangements and over 30 original pieces. About 90% of them are for brass. That's what I know pretty intimately. Like I said, I've played French horn for over 20 years. Went to college for music, so I can play trumpet at about high school, college level, euphonium at about a high school level, trombone, tuba about beginning band. I've got friends that play all those instruments. We always, if I ever end up having questions, I always reach out to them. And over time, I've just kind of adapted what I've learned. So the piece that we're going to be arranging, and I was not expecting Heart of Nova to win. I will be completely honest. This is the hardest piece out of the 4 that I submitted for a choice. So we're going to see how this goes.
I believe.
So to start, I have the piano version up. A lot of times I'll just get a piano score. It's a lot easier to go off of something that's already existing rather than necessarily trying to... what's the word I'm looking for? Transcribe it by ear.
Yeah.
There are times where transcribing it by ear is necessary because some of the piano arrangements out there are really bad, especially when you go and do like a clef change 8 times in one measure. If you want to do the math, that is every half beat.
Yeah.
So right now what we're going to start with, we break it down into chunks, into sections. This one is also a little awkward because it does have, as you can kind of see here, we have quite a few time signature changes. So it doesn't have a standard pulse that you would necessarily see. Most songs, you'll hear 4/4, 3/4. They're pretty standard. 3/4, it's a waltz. Da 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 da. 4/4 is what most pop songs are going to be in. This one kind of throws beats all over the place. So to start, like I said, we're just going to take it chunk by chunk. So we're just going to do a quick copy paste, really, of the second measure. This first measure, it's all power chord. We have F, C, F, F, C, F. We're just going to put that all over into the brass choir version here. So we're going to be doing a 13-piece brass choir. 3 trumpets, flugelhorn, 4 French horns, 2 trombones, bass bone, euphonium, and tuba. So we're going to go ahead
People might be surprised by that, but it's more standard than it seems. At least somewhat.
And my tuba is a piano. As we kind of hear that.
That's what that sounds like, yeah.
Let me see. Okay. Now that I've hit play, it's reset it. So as far as the voicings go, tuba is going to be your lowest voice, typically. Not always the case. There are times where trombone will play a little lower than tuba, and that's just because of what the range is going to be. For this one, we'll be keeping it simple. And he's kind of hear it going up. I usually treat euphonium as kind of the bridge between low brass and mid brass. The mid brass is being the French horn, so euphonium sometimes will play trombone, so it kind of acts as a third trombone. Other times it'll act like a fifth horn on this. So we're going to just kind of finish up this lower part here. As we see, it's going to be, if we go back to the piano version, it's a pretty simple da, da, da. It's pretty straightforward on that.
I didn't realize in Finale you can have multiple windows of different scores. I'm terrible time to say this. I'm a Sibelius user.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. I've never understood the whole argument between Finale, Sibelius, and MuseScore.
It doesn't matter. It's just preference, honestly.
Oh, it's 100%. They're all the same.
Yeah.
It's like, name brand versus store brand in the store. They're all made in the same factory. It's just what packaging do you put on it?
Yeah.
And so, since we already have kind of all the notes there, we're going to just go ahead and move these notes up, and we're going to transpose that up an octave so that I'm not used to not having a numpad, and my hand instinctively went to that. I don't know if people saw that.
Yeah, for those of you who couldn't see, we're on a 10-keyless keyboard.
Let's see. We're going to transpose this up an octave. I almost did it again. And we're actually going to transpose that up an octave. And just so that we get that strength that it had, we're going to add those accents in real quick. And now the fun part is this 16th note run, which I could be a jerk and just place it on and call, well, okay, I can't call that good because it's out of range. As you see that little yellow note, that means it's out of range. And then I have 3, okay, I got to change out of range notes. I need advanced. There we go. I could be a jerk and leave it like that. I don't know how much longer I would live after giving that to a trumpet player. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call dovetailing. And so it's going to be kind of a call and response between first and second trumpet. So what we're going to do, we're going to be taking these kind of chunk by chunk. And being that I want, that's right. Why did it? Sometimes it doesn't. Finale's not exactly the smartest. So we know first trumpet, you're going to want to land the highest because first trumpet is going to be always plays the higher part.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you see first trumpet going below trumpet 2 and 3, and especially flugelhorn. So seeing that we end high, we're going to work backwards on that. So then we're going to get that. We move that down. And again, Finale decided to kind of connect the beams there. Not really, and it did it again up here, which is not necessary.
I love when the beams just randomly connect and then there's like rest just like all through the middle.
Yeah, because it's what
so
you
readable.
do. It makes it so clean. And if we go back to the piano version, bass line's already cleared. We go to measure 3. It's exactly the same. So why type everything out when you can just repeat it or copy and paste it? So now, and being that we have, actually,
I believe Mozart pioneered the copy-paste technique.
There is debate on that. Some people believe that actually J.S. Bach kind of brought that up.
Yeah.
I mean, how else would he have written thousands of pieces?
If I can interject while you're doing that, I actually was also really excited to be on the music block. I did run Wii Music a little bit myself, not nearly as fast as Bassoonist does, and I also studied music in college. And for exactly 1 semester, I was a music composition major. So
You and me were the same.
Yeah, we're literally the same.
Yeah. I look exactly like you, and you look exactly like me.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just seeing and we've got folks in chat saying how fascinating it is. I'm also seeing a pro do this. An experienced composer kind of do this arrangement on the fly is really interesting. I'll hand it back to you.
That's all
Fanboy
good.
a little bit.
Yeah, to kind of go in that, I almost went into music composition as my major. I ended up doing, originally going for music education. I was going to be, my end goal was high school band director. Absolutely love conducting, and actually in my backpack I have my baton over there, because normally when I'm doing compositions or arrangements, I'll go into chunks, and once I'm like, okay, let's see how this sounds, how does this feel, and I'll actually conduct along to the score.
I'm happy that I'm not the only one that does this too.
I do it to the when I'm driving around for work and I have Spotify on, I'll start like just kind of conducting to the songs that I'm listening to, whether it's a pop song or classical or whatever it is. If I can feel the beat, I'm like, let's conduct. Why not? I've got an hour and a half drive. So this fourth measure here, it's a little different than the first one, but the concept is still going to apply of the dovetailing. Except the last part is actually lower than the first part, so we're going to kind of look in here. We can actually... Did that line up properly? See, when Finale beams stuff, I start second-guessing myself.
I would like to believe it lined up well, right? I'm like trying to see.
Yeah, it did line up there. Now that I broke up that beam, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So we do... I'm going to be completely honest. Finale has never done this to me before.
Really? The one time I tried it, it always did this to me.
Yeah, no, I've been using Finale, like I said, I think the first purchase product from Finale that I bought was, they don't make it anymore. It was called Finale Guitar 2003.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about.
They discontinued that, I think, in 2006. And I think in high school, I moved over to Finale. And then in college, because I'm going to go ahead and say this, college students, if you want to get Finale or Sibelius, I highly recommend jumping on it because you save about $600. So a student license for Finale is only about $100. A full license is normally about $700. So, if you're thinking about it, sure, $100 does sound like a lot. It's worth it. And then as upgrades come out, because they release a version basically each year, the upgrade is only usually like $50 to $100 as well.
Wait, you have to buy the upgrades?
Yeah, you have to buy the upgrades. Otherwise, you have to buy a whole new license for the new ones.
That's so weird because like for Ableton and like for FL, they just give you lifetime updates.
Oh, yeah, no, not Finale. Not Make Music. Hey, Make Music, if you're watching, you should take notes. Lifetime licenses. I will say with your license on Finale as well, you are able to authorize it on up to 2 computers. So that might be why they do it that way. I also lost the spot that I was in. Let's see. So we just finished up measure 4. And so we go to measure 5 and 6. Hey, look at that. 5 and 6 are the same as 1 and 2.
What if we like Control C and then like Control V that?
You might be onto something. Well, you know what? It's crazy enough to work. Hey, look at that.
Wow, that was really fast. I can't believe the crowd cheered for a copy paste.
Gamer.
Yeah, frame perfect tricked.
For any doubters out there, not only do we have massive time save, but we also had a that's never happened before moment. This is a real marathon run, okay?
Gamers will see that and say, heck yeah.
Only practice room runners know.
So for those of you that didn't see that while we were just kind of talking there, I did another copy paste there because measure 7 was the same as measures 1, 3, and 5. Measure 8 is not the same as measure 4 here. But same concept's going to apply. We are going to bring that in here, transpose that back into the correct octave, and before I forget, we are going to adjust that measure to 2/4 as that is coming up. Let's see. Now, if we bring that down. Finale. Come on, cooperate with me. Stop beaming everything together. And now in hindsight, I'm actually going to Control Z this. We are.
Whoa, this is new tech.
Yeah, new tech. Control Z. For those of you that don't know, Control Z is undo.
I would have never guessed.
It's like save states, right?
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, we're running on emulator.
So normally we'd have first trumpet ending because it's going higher. The pattern kind of goes. Because this part was higher than the last part, we're actually going to be reversing it and keeping. And actually, I want to go back and put that in there just so that lines up. I do realize that my Control Z did undo my 2/4.
One small thing that I want to mention, yeah, they've done this so much that they're not even playing it back. They just kind of know how it sounds. For at least when I had to arrange stuff, if I wasn't comfortable with the type of ensemble I was writing for, I would just have to go back and make sure stuff sounded normal. But that's just not happening yet. and I think that's wild.
There's time save in doing your run over and over again.
It's true.
Thousands of attempts.
And so with that that 2/4 there, where we've got this descending line as it peaks, we are going to give the second trumpet a break as it ascended. So it ascended, and first trumpet's going to descend. And like you mentioned, kind of listening back, let's listen to what we've got so far. I don't have the correct tempo on there. I forgot to put the tempo in. With tension, 166. Okay, so we're just going to... I went for the numpad again. Went for the numpad.
It'll be there one day.
One day. So it's sounding pretty good.
Yeah.
I did notice one thing. I don't know if it was very hard to hear, but there was a 16th note breaks. Where was that? I heard it, but where was that?
I thought it was in the second one, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was right here. So, as you see here, we have the C to D natural with an A thrust, but we have a 16th thrust with an A on the second trumpet. So that third 16th note we are missing, and that's on measure 4, because I deleted this E flat. Let's see. Okay, you are not going to cooperate with me. So, okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Now it's better. So, yeah, doing playback, sometimes you miss something, or, you think of something, it's like, let's maybe double up on this. So now that we're coming up to the next section, before I do any copying and pasting of this over, as you see, we're starting here. We go to 4/4, 6/4, 5/4, 4/4, 3/4, 4/4. We're all over the place. So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this all set up, and I will say normally I will go through and set it up so that all my measures are there, and then go through, get all the time signatures in, so that if I'm having to manually type it out, everything should line up, and then if it doesn't, it tells me where things aren't lining up. And then we're at 5/4.
Is it all right if I read off a donation while you kind of...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we just got a $50 donation from Tammy, who poses the question, does Control-C, Control-V count as tool-assisted?
Well, that's the same question as is using a third-party controller, like in a GameCube game, count as tool assisted? And that's up for you, up to you to decide.
Let us know in the chat what you think. And that
Only
donation
donations,
went to catapult Birdo into the lead of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe character bid war,
Shout out to
which
Birdo.
now sits at $50 for Birdo, $6 for Yoshi, $2.84 for Peachette. Thank you very much once again, Tammy, for your generous donation.
Thank you again, SSK, for reading a donation. I love this guy.
No, you.
And that's when you hit him with the "and you," and then
That's game changing.
yeah, yeah. There's no more no yous. It's "and you."
Limey's already been really good at like making me like not know what to say. I don't need more of this.
But see, now you're gonna be prepared for the next time, because now you're gonna expect the "and you."
It's gonna be so long before I even incorporate it.
I promise you I will not be ready for it.
No one ever is. Let's see, 17, 18, 19. That's a 2-4 there.
Yeah, it's really interesting seeing how you like arrange stuff. Just because personally, the way I go is I work from kind of chords and then into the melody because I like having like really like thick, crunchy chords. I love that so much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fiend.
No, I mean, it all depends on the piece.
Yeah.
To kind of go on that crunchy chord, I actually, so in college, I wrote a piece for alto sax and percussion. It was actually for the NASA composition competition.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it really is. And for those of you that don't know or are confused by like, why is NASA doing music stuff? It's the North American Saxophone Association.
There's the speedrunning one, and there's a sax one, and there's the space one.
What do you mean by space one? Like, why did you put that in quotes?
They think they're the most important one, but
Is that like space between the notes that you play on a saxophone?
yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, that's. And then I adapted that piece for brass choir. And so, how do you take a break drum sound and put that on wind instruments?
Good luck.
I like to think I did a pretty good job. It was a nice. I'm going to use a lot of musical terms here. It was a nice chromatic secundal chord. To break it down,
I had to like figure out what that meant myself for a second before I can react.
yeah. So chromatic, it's all these half steps. The notes. The bassoonist actually brought it up in their Wii Music speedrun. Secundal, meaning seconds. So it's all the notes right next to each other. If you're at a piano, it's going like it's the notes literally touching. So it's like a white key to black key, white key to black key. If you're musically inclined, think of it as C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. Or if you
Don't ask why there's not an E sharp. We're not gonna get into that yet.
Oh no, we'll get into it because
It's the same note. Spoilers.
yeah. So E sharp is to broaden the vocab here. E sharp is enharmonically the same as F natural.
Yeah. It's the same note, but like sometimes E sharp exists in like contexts. Like the idea of E sharp is there, like F flat, but like
It's like we were saying earlier, like how Limey and I are like the same person. Like Limey's like an E sharp and I'm an F. Because we're the same. We just like you call us different things.
yeah.
You know that's a pretty good way to put it. Okay, why? I don't know. So, okay, I just learned. Nope, finale's just gonna be weird on me. The scroll wheel was controlling the horizontal bar, and I could not do anything with this bar without clicking it. But now it's all fine.
reversed. Now it's fine. We're back.
But we're back.
We're so back.
We are going to do that. So that giant P that just showed up is actually wherever it is. It's this mezzo piano here, the MP. It just means to play moderately soft. In that context, I will say there are some more what's the word I want to look to say? Advanced. There's unusual context for dynamics occasionally. I have done this where I use the dynamic not for volume, but for feel. To kind of put it in perspective, I did an arrangement of Dreams of an Absolution from Sonic 06. And there's a part where it kind of goes into a little kind of call and response. And one of my French horn parts went into what we effectively call the stratosphere. It was going up to a high C, which put in perspective is that. You heard that screech.
Yeah, that's a screamer note.
And in order to give it the correct feel, I had to mark it as pianissimo, double P. So very, very quiet. French horn player is never going to play that below a forte.
Yeah, I was about to say, like you give that to a high school French horn player, and they are like, "This is impossible. This is not gonna happen."
Now they might say it's impossible because they might not be able to play that range.
Well, yeah, that too.
But yeah, no, it's and with compositions on this too, it will be there will be parts where you'll write notes, be like, "Hey, these dynamics are for the feel. We need you to play it delicately. You can play it as loud as you want. Just play it delicately." Which does sound kind of like an oxymoron.
It works.
Delicate but aggressive.
Yeah, just having the articulation control is important, but that's something that comes with playing your instrument a lot, and a lot of these harder video game songs, like the arrangements are more geared towards more advanced players sometimes, with like a lot of like the weird runs and stuff, especially in this one. There's a lot of weird runs. Very
much so, especially like this.
The metric modulation, like triplet run. Ugh.
Yeah, it's and it's all it's all augmented chords there. So what that means is what's the best way to describe that? So compared to a major chord, an augmented chord has a raised fifth. So on the major chord, you have your 1, 3, and 5. And augmented is a 1, 3 sharp 5. And so you can't really hear what the tonic is or what the root of the chord is.
Yeah, it just becomes more ambiguous as to what type of chord it is.
Yep.
Especially if you kind of change where the root is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's done here, but I can't take a great look from back here.
Sorry, say that again?
I said I think like the root is changed some, but I can't take a great look from like back here because like the notes are so small.
Oh,
my eyesight isn't great.
Unfortunately that's kind of the case.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually change. Though the root on this is I do have this in concert pitch. To explain that real quick, a lot of wind instruments transpose. And that's just because of how they are designed. So trumpets are typically in what we call B flat. So if you say play a concert B flat, they will play a C. French horns are typically in F. Sometimes they're in E flat. Depends on the context. But for the most part, they're in F. So if you say play concert F, they'll play a C. Concert B flat is an F on them. And all sorts of stuff like that. There's also E flat instruments, A instruments. You pick a key, there's an instrument in it. French horn does play in all 12 keys. Thank you, classical and romantic era, for that.
They loved just making instruments back then.
Oh yeah. And actually, I'm gonna nerd out here a little bit.
We love that here.
So, for those of you that are in music, especially going into band and orchestra, a lot of times you'll see in scores, you'll see the 4 horn parts. And typically you would think, first is high, second is, in order. First horn, second horn, third horn, fourth horn. That's actually not the case. It's first and third are on top, and then second and fourth are on the bottom. And actually sometimes second is even lower than fourth. So it usually goes 1, 3, 4, 2. And that is an artifact from the classical era. Before they invented the valves, and everything was played on what we call natural horn. And that's, if you ever see a French horn, typically left hand is on the valves, right hand is in the bell. by moving the hand back and forth in the bell, you can change pitch. And so they were able to do a bunch of chromatic stuff with that. And so they would write composers like Mozart, Beethoven, and the like. They would write, in order to change keys on their movements in symphonies, they would have only 2 horns playing in the first movement, and then the next 2 in the next movement in order to switch keys. So your first movement, your 2 horns might be in E flat. Your second movement, they might be in G. And so that's why third horn is now on top and fourth horn is lower, and then you have first and second. And that's just kind of carried on to this day. It's not always the case. There are times where you will get a second horn. What are these W's?
Huh? Where did those come from?
Oh, you know what? I know what that is. W for whole note. Okay, so I have to actually readjust that.
Can we get some W's in the chat?
W's in the chat.
We're winning music right now with all this knowledge.
And while we get some W's in the chat, is it all right if I talk about our charity partner for this event?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks again for everyone for hanging out. It's just past 1 o'clock in the morning, local time here. Midwest Speedfest is supporting P-Fund Foundation's Transcend campaign. The Transcend campaign is raising funds for distribution to partners across the upper Midwest, doing on-the-ground work to protect and assist trans, non-binary, and gender-expansive youth and adults. Examples of how these funds will be used includes supporting transportation costs for queer youth and adults from North Dakota, South Dakota, and Iowa to receive necessary and life-saving health care out of state, as well as covering tuition costs for remote schools that are welcoming to all gender identities in cases where students' local districts are not safe spaces for trans and queer youth. Thanks again for your generous donations supporting the P-Fund Foundation's Transcend campaign here at Midwest Speedfest 2024.
Thank you, SSK. I got the coolest thumbs up I've ever seen, but it was just off camera.
And you.
And
See?
You more. And the more to you.
Okay.
We're starting
I
to
lose.
Get a little Shakespearean in here. While we were reading that, I went through and started getting the. I guess it's kind of the melody. It's a little. I don't know how else to.
I think it's the
say
melody,
it.
yeah. It could be whatever you want.
Oh, don't tell me that. That gives me too much power.
Yeah, while you were talking about the last thing, I was gonna say, like, musicians love tradition unless they don't, and then they hate tradition.
It's very true.
Yeah, it's the illusion of choice.
You're not wrong, and that's why I'm mad.
I labbed that joke in high school, and it's coming back now. That was the longest payoff I've had to wait for a joke.
Oh, that's what that M is. That M is this little squiggle.
Oh, okay.
For those of you that don't know what that is, it's not a tremolo. What is the word for it? It's not quite a turn. The turn is the S shape. It's basically just a quick flutter going. In this case, it goes up. So like the F sharp on the horn here would go up to a G. It's just a quick. I can't think of it. And I know my friends are going to be like, I probably have a friend that's watching me like screaming at me.
I play the tuba. All the lines on the page scare me. Speaking of instruments, I suppose we have a $25 donation from Vaughn, who says, music is pretty cool. Thoughts on viola?
On viola?
I have thoughts on viola. Unless he's in the room with us right now, then I don't have thoughts on viola.
Okay, I'm going to say this lovingly. Learn a real clef. Alto clef is not real.
Yeah.
I say that having written trombone parts in tenor clef.
Ugh. Oh, that's worse somehow. I was gonna say the only real clefs are treble, bass, and percussion clef. All the other clefs are illnesses. they're not real. They can't hurt me.
No, I mean, in all honesty, like I wish I knew more about string instruments. I can kind of do some of them at an elementary level because that was part of my college education. I do love like the viola does have a really rich sound, especially in that mid range. Kind of going back to that clef, like the alto clef, it does make sense. It is one of the more logical clefs. For those of you that don't know, there are like Limey said, there are clefs. There's 4 clefs.
Yeah.
So you have your treble, bass, alto/tenor, and your percussion. Your treble clef is actually known as a G clef. Bass is known as an F clef, and then your alto, tenor. They actually have a few other ones. They're all called a C clef, and the reason for that. Let's zoom in here.
My mind was blown whenever I first learned why they call them those.
Oh, it's
I would never guess, honestly.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I'll let you explain it.
so the treble clef here, as you see, it swirls up and circles right around this line right here, and that is G. If we scroll down, and you got the bass clef, you see those 2 little lines, or the 2 little dots? Those surround the F line. And that's why it's called a G clef and an F clef. I'll just quickly change bass trombone here. So yeah, as you see here, there's I don't know if this is, okay, it is popping up. I know when I did this for Fastest Furs a couple years ago, none of my dialogue windows would pop up. So when I'm explaining something, it's like, okay, you're just going to have to take my word on it. So you have your treble clef, you have your alto and tenor clef. But you also have these other clefs, which, if I remember right, one's a mezzo tenor, or one's a baritone, one's a mezzo alto, and one's a mezzo soprano.
I think that's correct.
And as you kind of see where those clefs line up, those lines that they're on are all middle C. And so those are C clefs. As you kind of see these other clefs, like you have another treble clef that's which is a G clef, but it's actually a line lower. And then you have these clefs that have the 8 right below it or right above it. That just means reading it down an octave or up an octave, depending on where it's at. Then you have your the percussion clefs and your tabulature. That's more for your guitar and bass who don't want to learn how to actually read music. Yeah.
No, they're right. They're right. And you should say it louder.
Yeah, you know what? At me on Twitter, my username is talcerase. That's TALCERASE. Go ahead and add me. Get in my DMs. I don't read my DMs on Twitter, so it's fine. They'll just scream into the void.
Go ahead, talk at me. I won't listen.
No, I can't hear you. You didn't expect this out of a music composition showcase.
It's true. Let's see
Left
here.
discourse, huh?
Yeah. And this was all started because someone asked my thoughts on viola.
I will say they popped in chat and said, beautiful, thorough answer. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So thank you again, Vaughn, for your donation. If anyone else would like to have discourse, feel free to send in a donation to support P-Fund.
Yeah, it's all for charity. I will do hot takes for charity.
I just love beefing, just in general.
Yeah. Let's see.
Peter is so scared, just laughing back and forth at each other. And you.
You guys are probably wondering what I'm doing right now. I've got the hand on the beard, kind of scrolling back and forth, and I'm kind of being a little quiet. I'm debating this triplet line on the first trumpet. So this red part that's above it is saying to play all of that up an octave. And I'm debating if I want that to actually dovetail between first and second trumpet.
What I was thinking, and this is my noob perspective. I think it'd be cool if there was like the accent notes, if there was just like some overarching like line that wasn't a triplet, but like still had those accent notes to kind of just like weave in and out. So instead of like da-na-na-na-na, it's like da-na-na-na-na.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, since on the beat here, you'd have just constantly the B flats, but if we added in, let's say, you know what, I do like why is, I'm on VSC, why is flugelhorn playing, why are you French horn?
For fun.
Because not all the Garriton instruments installed. Okay, you know what? That's fine. We can make do.
Because it says horn and F. The F stands for flugel, does it not?
You know, you're not wrong. I can't argue with that. I got at my own game.
What great logic.
It's D natural.
The logic enjoyer has logged on.
And so, kind of going through this, you can hear that augmented sound where it's just like, which of those notes is actually the root?
This is like Wii Music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like that could be the note. That could be. I mean, if I went up even more, it sounds. You just it's all over. You just have no idea. It gives that nice uneasy feeling. Kind of going on that, just kind of use an example of how to use chords to create an uneasy feeling. How many here are fans of Undertale? So spoilers on Undertale.
Oh no.
There's a section called the True Lab, and it's supposed to create a very uneasy feeling. And what Toby Fox did in the music, used the exact same style chord for everything. So everything in there, if I remember right, was a major minor ninth, I think is what the chord is, or maybe it was just major ninths. But basically, you had no tonal center. You could not find where the root was. But he also did another thing with that, in that what we talked about on the ninth. So just example, I chose the wrong note to do that because that's going to be dominant.
Oh, what happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. So that's kind of the chord that he would do. But he would take that ninth and put that in the bass. So you wouldn't hear. So. And see, and this is why I opted to get the Garriton package on my on my home computer, because now we just got this nice.
Does it go away or?
It does now.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure.
Yeah, it does go away, but yeah. So that just as an example, he would make a chord like that, basically.
Yeah.
Viewers at home, do not go check your car alarm. It was the stream. Thank you for your patience.
Sibelius would never treat me like that. It would do much worse.
It's true. I used Sibelius in college, and there's a reason why I still use Finale today. Let's see. Yeah, so if we kind of continue with this, that's the other thing with arrangements. You don't have to follow what it's originally sounding like. So to give you an example, out of the 4 songs that I submitted, I will say I'm going to be arranging all of them at some point. Brothers Bear, I have already done a brass choir arrangement of 13-piece. If that had won, I would have been doing a brass quintet theme and variation on it. So, for those of you that saw me at Fastest Furs doing this, Brayman's March was from Majora's Mask was one of the options. That almost won, but Attack of the Killer Queen from Deltarune won on that one. I did a theme and variation on that. For those of you that don't know that song, it's about 45 seconds long. It's a very simple march, and I turned it into a 9-minute piece.
Respectfully, I'm not surprised that the Deltarune song won at Fastest Furs. No shade, but
Yeah. No,
Deltarune.
I knew what I was doing when I submitted that. So we're just going to kind of continue this augmented pattern. I just zoomed way too far. Can I can go low. I had to think there for a second, the flugelhorn range.
It's very weird hearing the definitely flugelhorn.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what it sounds like, yeah.
I'm like constantly cycling, like, where is the key here? Because I'm not used to this. Let's see. And then actually what we can do, we'll let it join in. Oh, actually, you know what we can do? We'll let it join in with the French horns there. And to kind of hear what that sounds like, we'll just start right here. I can hear Finale struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, Finale, and you not reading tremolos. For those of you that don't know this, it's supposed to be going rapidly between those two notes. I say rapidly. It is measured. I don't know if you knew this, but
Yeah.
the 3 lines means, what is that?
It's 30 seconds?
30 seconds,
Yeah.
yeah, because 2 lines then you would see as 16th and 1 line as 8th. A lot of composers use the 3 lines now just go between the 2 notes rapidly. But that's not what they did back in the day.
Yeah, I'm only aware of that because I play marimba.
Yeah, it's we had back in high school, we had a couple percussionists try to argue with our orchestra director. And they were like, no, this is a roll. And he was like, no, it's 16th notes. It's a measured roll. But he was like, no, this is just a roll. And so he's like, no, it's supposed to be 16th notes. We rehearse it, and we get to that point, and they do the roll. And he's like, it's 16th notes. It's slower. And then he actually had to show them the score, where on the percussion part, it actually shows 16th notes written out. It's like, oh, okay. Let's see. So I think I am going to do that alternating. And actually, you know what I can do? Let's go back to page view. We're going to actually...
Page view isn't real. Page view can't hurt me.
Mom, can we get page view? No, we got page view at home. Page view at home. It's just that. So in older versions of Finale, you only had page view and scroll view. And I personally liked scroll view over page view at the time. But then they added in the studio view, which allowed you to actually adjust volumes of different parts, the positionings on them. So for those of you listening on headphones at home, this is technically stereo. And so, like, your first trumpet part's going to be more in the left. Technically, with the way it's set up, it's putting all the trumpets on the left. The French horns are kind of in the middle towards the right. Trombones are more to the right, and my tuba is all the way on the right. That's not how a normal brass choir is going to be set up. You'll normally have your first trumpet on the left, flugelhorn on the right, and then the trumpets span that way. French horns, if you're playing in a band shell, will be over on the right. Otherwise, they'll be on the left. Trombones will be next to the French horns. Euphoniums will be between trombones and horns, and then tubas are typically in the back. And that's just so that you get that bass sound in there. And yeah, let's see.
I have bad news for you and viewers at home. The way that everything goes into our mixer, shoutouts Tech, everything's just mono.
Oh, everything's okay.
Yeah. Sad face, unfortunately.
I mean,
So on our stream setup, if we had a brass choir, everyone would be sitting in the exact same spot. which is
Yes,
pretty-
everyone would just be in the same chair on top of each other.
That's pretty fun to think about. If
Yeah.
you think about it.
It's the stacked brass choir.
Is it all right if I talk about some of our exciting incentives that are open?
I was about to ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. Feel free to interject anytime. This is gonna be very laid back and chill.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Audience, are you folks enjoying yourselves? Thanks for staying up with us. We've got.
I cannot believe it's been 47 minutes.
It's
Has it really?
time flies when you're having fun. We do still have the Bluey the video game character choice bid war open. I believe that opens tomorrow morning. Yes, no. It does. Saturday morning cartoons indeed. Currently, Bingo is in the lead with $20. Let's go, Bingo.
Let's
Let's
go,
go,
bingo.
bingo.
Dad is in second place with $16, and Bluey and Mum are tied with $0.
Is it actually spelled mum?
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to come over here and take a look at the?
not really.
That's fair. Are you sure?
I'm okay.
I know you already had your.
Shout out to Australia.
Shout outs to Australia.
Shout outs to Disney Plus, but anti shout outs to Disney.
If you're watching from Australia, it is not 1:30 in the morning. So thank you.
Thank you, Time Label, for
Thank you
telling us
for
about this.
putting up with me complaining about how late it is. I don't know. We also have a character bid war for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
That's the run after Bluey.
It's true.
I was supposed to be on the couch for that, but I don't think I'm gonna wake up for that. It's a little late.
Well, it's not that late in Australia.
What if I was Australian?
Well, I would also be Australian because we're the same person.
And you?
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. For that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe character choice bid, Warberto is in the lead with a healthy $50. Yoshi in second place with a respectable $6, and Peachette with $2.84. Daisy and Peach tied with $0.
Picha is not making rent, unfortunately.
She got a little bit.
A little bit. I think that the chatters should do exclamation donate in the chat and
Yeah,
then go
that-
to
donate.mwsf.gg.
donate.mwsf.gg and then put in an amount and then put in their amount for an incentive, and that should be for one of the bid wars that are
Yeah,
open
they
right
say
now.
that clicking the add incentive button does wonders for increasing the dollar amount for these incentives. So,
Yeah.
I'm always saying things like this.
I've always said that.
Oh, yeah. Talcerase, what do we got going on now?
So I just added another kind of that weaving line. I harmonized it just by moving it up. I went through because the way I transposed it, our B flats actually became A sharps. A sharp is enharmonically the same as B flat. See?
Yeah,
We're just
yeah.
cycling back to that.
I love that harmonic.
and then-
harmonics.
I just went through, used a quick key to change the A sharps to B flats to keep it, consistent. Technically speaking, B flat, D natural, F sharp, A sharp is a different chord than a B flat, D natural, F sharp, B flat. Technically speaking, but it's not really.
It's a vibe-based chord.
Yeah,
And I'm not wrong.
you're not. And then I just to kind of get the melody from the game so that you actually hear it, I doubled that up on the horns there. And to kind of give that a listen. Those tremolos will never not
Just imagine
get
just
me.
going like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right on pitch like that. That's actually what a tremolo on a French horn sounds like.
I was trying to be as close as possible, but I wasn't trying to like sweat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, I realized I've got a nice chord lining up right there. We've got a G, C flat, B flat, D flat.
Oh. I like that.
So it's a nice chord, and I mean the G and C flat are just there for embellishment. It's what we in the business call a neighboring tone. It's because it neighbors the tones that it's coming from.
Yeah.
It went from B flat, C flat to B flat. It's just a little up and back.
Yeah, there's just the slightest bit of tension before like the literally the next beat.
Yeah. One thing, I'm surprised no one has called me out on this yet. Tell us, sir, why haven't you saved yet?
I assumed you had. I'm not gonna lie.
No, we're gonna go ahead and save this. This is Heart of Nova. This is just how I do it. Just like that. The reason being is because, like I mentioned, I do a lot of different ensembles. So brass choir, brass quintet, brass sextet, brass octet, orchestra, piano. You name it. I've kind of done it. And it's just an easy way to go, oh, I arranged this piece for 3 different ensembles. This is one I need to go back to. So now we are on to the next section.
Any next sectioners? That's okay. You should say that into the mic.
That's me. Wow. I love the next section. It's like the natural evolution of the current section that we were already on before, but it's the next one.
It's true.
A lot of people are saying that, so I hear.
You've always said that.
I have always said that. That's true.
You said that at Colfa's earlier.
I think Jaxler said that at Culver's earlier, actually.
Yeah, you're starting a trend.
Just Jaxler.
I'm thinking about Culver's again. Ugh.
I've had Culver's twice in the last 2 days.
I don't even live by Culver's. I just have been eating it while I've been up here.
Chat, you want to donate for what you've been eating lately? And I will read it. If it's, like, good. And if all is, you know. Just to be fun. Raising money for a good cause here. What do we got going on here now?
I copied correctly?
Yeah, it did. Believe it or not, that did copy correctly. So to kind of explain why Finale is doing the way... to kind of explain why Finale is the way it is. They revamped their entire notation fonts in the latest version, which is version 27. And so if you move anything that's in version 26 or prior, it has to get updated to it. Just as an example, I don't think I was going to be seeing this at all on this one. But if I went into here, normally you can do a mass select and then articulation, you can just put in the number. I'm used to 10 being the fermata, which is long hold. So I would, like right up here, I would kind of do something like this. I would go to type in 10. I went for the numpad again. I would do that and be like, wait, where's the fermata? I've got my squiggles. Well, and that's because Finale revamped this entire thing. Fermata is now 30. A lot of
That's
these...
not even close.
Right. And so this used to be up here. I want to say 1 through 9 are still the same. But then, yeah, like 10 through 13 used to be, you would have to scroll down. Like 33 through 35 used to be like up here. And it's just like, so many things change. It's like, why would you do this? But you know what? That's why they get paid the big bucks to make the program, and I give them money every so often.
Sometimes they're just like, please, we updated it. We need your money, please.
I didn't buy version 26 because I had 25, and I usually don't buy every version because there's not a whole lot that changes between versions. So maybe because I personally did not buy version 26, Make Music was like, that Talcer guy, we got to make sure he knows to buy every version. And so now here I'm going.
I can't believe Make Music is like iPhones. Like, you just got to get every other version. Except for you should get every version because sometimes things won't work when you transfer between versions, yeah.
It's true.
Gamers will see the fermata move by 20 positions and say, heck yeah.
Our Rangers are going to see the fermata move by 20 positions and say, heck no. And I've always said this.
You have always said that.
I said that in the practice room earlier. Shout out to
So-
the Midwest Speedfest practice room.
Yeah, shout out to the practice room.
It has a projector in there. Displaying the stream.
Oh, I deleted the rest. I did not want to do that. Let's see here.
I like how when you select like a chord in some part, it like plays all the notes, because in MuseScore that didn't happen for a long time.
Oh yeah, that was always it does change. It depends on the instrument. For example, when I'm using Finale at home, because I have the full Garriton sound, tuba, euphonium, and flugelhorn do not. They only play the top note.
Interesting.
And I'm not 100% sure why that is. I mean, I have theories. And it's because of the instrument naming. So they actually have different sounds for... Well, that's not the right one. And so, like euphonium, they have euphonium solo, which is what it defaults to. We are actually just going to do that. Tuba is tuba solo, and flugelhorn is just flugel solo. With the euphonium, I do have to change it. I usually change it to, what do they call it? Euphonium band section, or band section, band euphonium section, something like that. I do that for my arrangements at home because it also actually plays the euphonium sound louder. I have, before I discovered doing that, I would crank the volume on the euphonium. When we were in studio view, you saw the mixers on the side. I'll go back to that real quick. On here, so the default is 101. It scales from 0 to 127. I would crank the euphonium 1 to 127, and then I would put in a dynamic, hidden dynamic. So it would show, like mezzo forte, so it lined up with all the other instruments, but it would be playing fortissimo.
Oh.
Because that was the only way I could get it to sound. And so that I could actually kind of balance out the part and be like, yeah, okay, I do need to, I do need to like double this up with like the French horns, or it's good by itself, or I need to add like trombone 2 to it. And so there are some early arrangements of mine that do need to get revisited someday.
Not today.
Definitely.
Today, we're raising money for P Fund. Shout out P Fund.
Yeah, shout outs.
Are there any donations by chance?
We get a good refresh here. Doesn't look like there's any new donations at the moment.
Twitch chat, get on that.
Yeah, you can hit ! Donate in chat. In case you need a little refresh, or if you came in pretty recently, Midwest Speedfest is supporting P-Fund Foundation's Transcend campaign. The 2024 Transcend campaign is an immediate response to urgent needs facing trans and gender-expansive people living in or coming to the upper Midwest 5-state region of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, North Dakota, and South Dakota.
Someone who's not from the Midwest, is like South Dakota like real?
No.
Okay.
It's a myth.
Yeah, okay. I don't know anything about South Dakota. I just know that like North Dakota has like Fargo, which is the most populated city, but also like Bismarck is the capital, and I know that from the Powerpuff Girls comic.
Sound off on the donos if you claim to be from South Dakota.
Shout out to the Midwest Speedfest.
Yeah.
We're speedrunning
Shout
here.
out to Midwest Speedfest. And if you're enjoying the marathon, please consider following Midwest Speedfest. We are a Minnesota-based organization that has been hosting speedrun marathons since 2015. Every spring, we partner with VGMCon to help raise money for their chosen charity and bring even more entertainment to their convention. We host online events occasionally as well, also in support of charity. So far, we've raised over $60,000 for various causes, and we hope to see that number continue to grow exponentially with your support. we get a round of applause real quick, by the way, for $2,575 on day 1 of 3?
Oh,
Day 1.
yeah.
We're making 10K. That's all I'm gonna say.
We had an
That's
initial
bars.
goal of 5,000, and we are over halfway done on day 1 of 3. That's quite impressive, folks. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Yeah, that is amazing. I did hear a rumor that if we hit 5K, or not 5K, 10K, if we hit 10K, Gooby will actually go to bed.
No way. No way.
Yeah. See, and I can say that because he's not here to argue against it.
He might even be not in bed right now.
It's true. Although he has made arguments that he'd go to sleep on a couch, which, by the Oxford definition, a couch is similar to a bed.
It's not a bed though.
But it's similar enough.
That's like saying a boat is a yacht.
It's like saying that I'm not Limey.
Yeah, we're the same person.
We're the same person. I'm not similar to Limey. I am it. You know?
Yeah.
You know, you raise a good point.
No or no? And you.
Me when I'm a knower and I know.
Yeah. So important.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Nope. I went to the Cursed Scroll view. There we go.
I think having this run close out the night, so it's just like the most unhinged podcast with we're also arranging music at the same time is very awesome.
It's basically just a podcast that has a visual.
Yeah, I'm having
It's
a
like-
good time.
This is like the Subway Surfers.
I was about to say, it's...
This is my favorite Subway Surfers.
And you've always said that.
I've always said this.
Many people have been saying that. That's like going all around the practice room. Shout out to the practice room.
Subway Surfers in the practice room.
Subway surfers.
If you're in the practice room and you're playing Subway Surfers, come in here and then play Subway Surfers in here.
And you.
You're so happy with yourself with that one, huh? You're so happy with yourself.
I'm just a little bit tired, you know?
I think
Let's see.
in the middle of just like waiting for it to finish playing, we should like do a Morrowind 90% run.
Only if we get to watch the Skyrim opening cutscene. Thank you so much for hanging out in chat, by the way, everyone. Just as a heads up, all Twitch revenue we receive during this event will also be donated towards the P-Fund Foundation. Of course, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. Simply go to your settings, then to the Connections tab, and connect your Twitch account with your Amazon account to get Prime Gaming, meaning you'll have one free sub every month.
Any primers? Any primers?
Any primers?
I can be just like you. I can go into my discord.com account. I can go and read like the GDQ Hotfix ones, and they have one that's like that.
And you know, while you're on Discord, you can interact with the best way to interact with our community and stay up to date on our events by joining the Midwest Speedfest Discord server. If you, yes you, type !
And
Discord in chat or check our Twitch bio, you'll find a link. We post announcements in there and also on Twitter at twitter.com/MWSpeedfest. And marathon VODs after the event can be found on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MidwestSpeedfest.
You could be just like you. I can say that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the Midwest Speedfest Twitch channel help to support P-Fund. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel.
I agree.
I'm just like you.
Yeah.
You're just like me.
Yeah.
We do have a $25 donation from Jason LaRose, who says, donating for donating's sake. Also, to make the total a cool number, if you know, you know.
Oh, it is a cool number right now.
And that number is very
Oh.
cool. It's a
It starts with the
very
26.
even $2,600.
Someone should ruin it right now. Ruin it.
Thank you very much, Jason LaRose, for your generous donation. Talcerase, what do we got going on right now?
We got lots of chaos going on. I was gonna say on the 2600. Shout outs to the Atari 2600. Like, would we really be here if it wasn't for that console?
No.
So
I would like to say yes, but I'm just not there.
So we just finished up kind of this reprise of the earlier mode of at the beginning of the dun bum bum. Except it doesn't actually have the 16th note there. So here it goes bum bottom da da da, and it just kind of does that. But it does get that 16th note kind of in there as an echo, as a kind of a call response. And now we are kind of going into the atonal part, which on the piano part, if you see here, you see that little square. We'll zoom in a little bit for you guys.
We're zoomer inners right now.
If we zoom in, let's see here.
Computer,
there we go.
enhance.
There we go. There's your enhance. Now,
Oh, that's so enhanced.
There we go. So if you see that little square in there between the notes, that means on the piano you're actually just playing all the notes in between.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah. So that's instead of making it, instead of spelling it out as E F G A B, this one might also actually have the chromatics in there. So this might be E F F sharp G G sharp A B flat B natural. I know I should say A sharp on that because all the other notes are sharp, but you know what? B flat's better
B
than A
flat
sharp.
is like superior in every way. Than
It's true.
A natural.
We've got a bunch of brass players on the mic. We're gonna say B flat's better than A sharp.
I'm not even a brass player.
Oh well, you should fix that.
Oh, okay.
I thought you played like everything.
Well, I do, but that's different.
I guess yeah.
I can play like trumpet at like a high school level, and like it's good enough. I can play like mellophone at high school level too. Shout out to mellophone.
Yeah, shout outs to mellophone. I have not played mellophone in years. So I did not realize this piano score actually had a hidden score.
Oh, that's
I
scary.
don't know how I made that appear, but so what you see up here, this is what you would see on like you're performing. This is what it's actually playing.
Can we enhance that? That's
So,
scary.
Yeah, so you have E, F, F sharp, G. What do we have?
Yes.
A flat, A, B flat, B. So it doesn't give you a G sharp, it gives you an A flat.
I want to know, for my own curiosity, donate if you could read that. If you think you would sight read that, please tell me. If you don't think you could sight read that, also tell me. That scares me. Like I said, I play tuba. If there's more than one line on the page, I freak out and then I cry.
Yeah, if there's more than 4 notes on the page, I freak out then I cry because like I said, marimba, like. Yeah, I have me and my
'Cause
four
you only
hands.
have 4 hands, yeah.
Yeah.
I realized that I said that without the mic, and I was like, wait, that's funny. I need to say it again.
Yeah. Yeah, for people who don't know, marimba, there's like, you have 2 hands, and then you put a mallet here-ish, and you put a mallet here-ish, and you kind of close your hand, and then it kind of works. And then you have 4 hands, actually. And if you see more than 4 notes on a page, you cry. That's what happens.
You're supposed to tape a mallet to your nose and just kind of...
There's actually a 3 mallet technique that I kind of know. It like hurts my wrist.
So just do that then.
No.
Okay.
It's funny that you bring up the nose because I believe it was either Mozart or Beethoven wrote a piece where you had 5 notes in each hand and you had an 11th note where you had to actually hit it with your nose.
That's like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Exactly. It's exactly like that.
I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, but I would like an explanation.
So
No,
Just
do not
because-
elaborate.
I'll bug
No,
you
go ahead.
later.
Go ahead and elaborate.
I'm just not familiar.
So
please enlighten me.
The strat for like the Wii U version of the game was to a lot of people like they would look at the TV, but they'd be playing on the gamepad and they would do like the touch controls with their nose while they're playing on the gamepad. And that's kind of hype.
That is kind of hype.
Yeah.
It's like if you were like playing a piano piece and you had
Yeah.
5 notes in one hand and 5 notes in the other hand and you had an 11th note on your nose.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
They should make a game like that.
What if they did make a game like that?
Captain the Treasure Tracker?
Maybe something like that, where you're like playing and your eyes are on the television.
Yeah.
You're playing on the gamepad, and you also are using the touchscreen, and you can like it's like on the piano and many such things, etc.
Yeah, yeah. What's going on the computer screen?
Chaos, complete chaos.
Hey, that's also what's going on comms. I'm glad we're keeping up.
All
I'm
three
on
of us
page
are just
here.
the same at this point.
We're
Yeah.
I didn't want to spoil it, but I am in fact the same.
And me.
and you. But I realize this triplet pattern is not exactly a triplet pattern. It's it's not a set of 3 notes descending and then 3 notes ascending, kind of like we had earlier, because we got 3 going down, 3 going up, 3 down, but then it goes up 1, down 1, and leaps. But then it's kind of going all through. It's not just this dovetail pattern. It's kind of do its own thing. It's throwing a curveball. It's making
Has
chaos.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it when music has personality. Sometimes. So that's why I was like, I was just like, okay, it'll just alternate. Then I'm like, wait a minute, nah. I mean, I guess I could be.
Well, you can just make them count. It's not a big deal.
Dude, trumpet players counting?
Oh. Yeah. My bad. My bad. Do that in the mic. That was funny. Yeah, I dropped out before I got that far. So.
So, what do? We do. Nope, that is not what we do. We do not make 16th note triplets. A onelet?
Huh?
You're playing 2 eighth notes in the space of. I don't. Okay.
That's like in Sleigh Ride at the end where they make like the horse noise. That's like just what that sounds like. Shoutouts playing Sleigh Ride in high school band. Nowhere's no.
Shout outs to Sleigh Ride.
Shoutouts to Sleigh Ride.
Shoutouts to Sleigh Ride.
Shoutouts to
Chat,
Sleigh
what's your
Ride.
favorite part? I like the
derogatory.
part where they go wee.
Done it.
It's thematic because we got snow today in Minneapolis.
Dude, it's April. How?
Yeah, welcome to the Midwest, baby.
Welcome to the Midwest. Kids wrote a whole song about
Hey,
it.
Oh, did he?
you know,
Yeah, it's all
The artist formerly known as Prince.
yeah, it's a song about sometimes it snows in April. That's great.
Well, okay, I know everyone talks about how it snows in April in the Midwest, but like I didn't think that it was like real.
oh wait till we tell you about the May snowstorms that we occasionally get.
What?
Yeah, Prince only sings about stuff that's real.
So this happened. I was not in Minnesota when this happened, but my parents were complaining to me the whole time. May 1st. So I live south of the cities. Down there, they got about 20 inches of snow on May 1st.
Like
20 inches, yeah. And it was that heavy, wet snow, and my parents lost 5 of their pine trees in their backyard because of the snow, because the snow just split the trees. My dad's coworkers were giving him crap like, why aren't you coming into work? Because he works up in the cities. And so he actually took a meter stick, stuck it in the snow, took a picture and sent it to him, and he's like, that's why I'm not coming in. And then 2 weeks later, it hit 105 degrees.
Minnesota isn't real. I've decided. Like,
Yeah.
chat, donate if Minnesota is real.
You can't, because it's not.
What's the first part of that blurb again? The like Midwest Speedfest, Minnesota based. Can you read that one?
It turns out they've actually just been saying Iowa-based this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And we're actually live from Des Moines.
We're a United States-based organization.
We're a South Canada-based organization. I'm sorry for saying that.
Is Minnesota approximately as real as the sea clefs? And equally able to hurt you? Parentheses, not at all.
20 inches of snow in May can hurt me.
Yeah. Which I don't know how true this is, but because there was so much snow on that, my parents did say that the last of the snow didn't melt until mid-June. Like, they had snow in their backyard until mid-June. Like, school had ended and got out for a summer break, and there was snow on the ground.
It hit 105?
And it hit 105. Minnesota had, like, one of the hottest spots in the U.S. That week. I want to say we were even, like, hotter than Texas and California, and Arizona. Like, Arizona didn't even hit triple digits that day, and Minnesota did. It was weird.
It's like that bit of, like, back in my day, we used to walk, to school 5 miles uphill both ways in 6 feet of snow and in 100-degree heat. Like, they actually did that.
I can't believe they were talking about Midwesterners. Shout out to the Midwest Speedfest, where we talk about states and
That we
cleft
do.
discourse. I just saw Sex Rex whisper something, and I'm scared now.
No, you didn't. Prove
I
it.
didn't see anything.
Clip it. Clip it and show me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's happening on the computer screen?
What's happening on the computer screen is that
There's some
Midwest
sheet music,
Speedfest
for
would
sure.
like to give a special thanks to Speed Stuff for Charity, a speedrun marathon team dedicated to annually raising money for charities. They've raised over $15,000 in their 8 years doing marathons and plan to continue for as long as there's interest. Follow them on Twitch at twitch.tv/speedstuff4charity and on Twitter at SS4C Marathon.
I've run that one.
That's so cool.
That's so cool. It's actually so funny because like these two were like started around the same times and they're both still alive.
We're not on like haunted ground or anything, are we?
We can be if you want to be.
I'm seeing
Was that a threat or?
I'm seeing a from the grave $5 donation from Prince, who says Minnesota is real and sometimes it snows in April, May, June, and July.
Oh no.
Which frankly does read as a threat. But
That's a threat. Yeah.
July snow is a threat.
thank you, Prince.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
Thank you, the artist formerly known as Prince, for our donation in support of P-Phone Foundation.
Shout out to Helix. I stole that bit from her.
Okay. I think I've got this triplet thing sorted, kind of. It looks like a disaster, but you know what? What isn't these
we
days?
run it, yeah.
Like it's really just right here. That's just like, what is going on? So now the fun part is, if I can find there we go. So like we said, we're going to cycle back to near the beginning.
Yeah.
So it is a chromatic secundal chord.
I
So
should make secundal my nickname. That's such a cool word.
it is. There's a few other ones that they use where it's like a chord just made of thirds, fourths, fifths.
I don't remember the like specifically like whole step one, but I love those chords. Specifically the like F, G, A, B, C sharp, D sharp one. I like that one.
You're not gonna believe what they call it.
What is it called?
They call it a whole tone scale. Like, I am not even
I
kidding.
thought there was a more fancy word for that than just whole tone scale.
No, it's just whole tone scale.
I thought, what happened to secundal?
So secundal is just, it's made of seconds, and that describes a chord.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you're going with that, it's the whole tone.
Yeah.
So there's a whole tone secundal chord, there's chromatic secundal chord.
Okay.
And then there's
We're
just
so
standard
bad.
secundal chords, which is what fits into the key.
Who cares about a key anymore, honestly?
You know, it's funny you say that, because I was going to go on a mini rant about key signatures. Key signatures are an antiquated device, and we should not be using key signatures.
Yeah.
Like, just write the accidentals in. Like, it'll make sight reading so much easier. You'll be able to identify any issues ahead of time quickly instead of going, oh, I've got 4 flats. Okay, that's going to be BEAD. Okay, so I got to remember all of those.
And then like sometimes there's like naturals and it's like
Yeah, exactly. So it's like just write the accidentals in. Like, the only reason they did the key signatures was because a lot of stuff was being handwritten in the day, so doing a key signature made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And now it's like, again, kind of similar to how we have the 4 horns, first and third, second and fourth. It's just carried on, and there's no reason for it.
Make music how you wanna. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Have fun. That's a big thing. But make sure you do it right.
Have fun and do it incorrectly specifically.
Just go make music.
It's true.
Writing music is cool.
Writing music.
Creating stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you're looking at this showcase and you're like, I wanna make music, but I don't want to spend $600 on Finale.
Just be a student. So you
Well,
only spend
that too.
That too.
I was gonna say even Mario Paint Composer. That could be a good time.
I use
Yeah.
I use
love Mario
MuseScore. That one's free.
Yeah, that was free.
Yeah,
Shout out
MuseScore is
MuseScore.
great.
Yeah.
The new version is good. I've heard. I haven't tried it yet.
I want to give a quick update on the bid wars we've got open. We've had some change, some shakeups in the character choice bid war. Berta with a now substantial lead with $75. Yoshi with $6. Daisy now with $5. Peachette still at $2.84. Peach still waiting on her first donation for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe speedrun tomorrow morning. Bluey, the video game character choice bid war has not changed. We're still at bingo in first place at $20. Gonna get a let's go bingo from the crowd.
Let's go.
Let's go bingo.
I'm
Thank
not in the
you.
crowd, but let's go bingo.
Let's go bingo. Dad in second place with $16. Bluey and Mum tied at $0. Shout outs to Australians.
Let's go.
Shout outs to everyone in
Daddy.
chat hanging out at 2 a.m. local time and you wonderful folks in
It's
the audience.
2 a.m.
as well.
right now.
It is 2 a.m. right now.
Wow. I'm Eperton.
Type stuff.
Shout outs to BRC.
Shout outs to Bomber Cyberpunk. That was a fun run. I had a good time commentating it earlier. If you're watching this VOD, go watch that other VOD.
If
And then go
you're
watch
if you're
all of
watching this
us.
live, then like stay until we go offline, and then go back and then watch the VOD, and then donate. I saw you counting. What was that about?
Sorry, say what was that?
You were counting finger mode.
Oh, I was trying to figure out how many notes were in the chords, in the secundal chord. So I was going E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and I was like, okay, there's 8, so I know I need to have 8 parts on this. I could go a little more and extend it. We'll see how it sounds.
Yeah, it might sound a little too crunchy, but also might sound not crunchy enough. Who knows yet?
It's true.
We don't know anything yet.
Delete, because I'm too lazy to type the proper rhythm there. And see, and also this is why I like the numpad.
Yeah.
Because on the numpad, 5 is a quarter note, 4 is eighth, 3, so I can easily
yeah.
just switch between them. But this I can't, because the top row numbers actually do intervals, which, going back to Basunas Wii Music Run, explained that is the space between notes. So like, if I hit 5, ooh, that's a nice tritone.
Ooh, I love tritones.
Tritones are the best. Oh,
I love something double note something.
the devil's chord, yeah.
Shout outs to Adam Neely.
Yeah.
Shout outs to controller differences at the marathon. Here we go. We have controller differences, hardware differences, time save on keyboard controller with numpad.
Yeah.
Word soup.
And I'm gonna
turn
mention
the
this,
mic off now.
and I'm gonna get so much slack from the Twitch chat, but the keyboard that's over here, for some reason, is just my keyboard that I brought for Fang, because it has like nice little brown switches. I like them, and I usually use this on like my Mac, so I like switch the Alt and Control keys. Don't say that to me. I switch the Alt and Control keys, so it matches what it is on Mac.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat's tearing you apart right now. They hate it.
No, I'm not making out the group chat.
Yo, shout outs to C triple flat.
That's definitely one of the notes. I can't count that high.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I totally skipped up. Okay, I missed a line. So that should be up there. This is going to get... Let's see what this turns into. Shoutouts to D quadruple flat.
That's somehow more correct. Wow.
Oh, you know what's fun? No. Oh no, I don't have numpad and I can't do it.
I'm
you can
sorry.
go up to 7 flats.
Oh no. that's like most of the scale at that point.
You know what? Let's see if I can do this. There's your 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ugh.
Okay, 8 flats is as low as you can go.
Oh no.
Thanks. I hate it.
How does your tuba player brain feel about that SSK?
My eyes just kind of glaze over after like 3.
You're like, I'll play one of the notes down there.
You're making me count.
Maybe brass players can't count, actually.
I am not beating the allegations.
That many flats, I interpret that as a threat.
Okay,
we have
so
an audience comment that says that many flats I interpreted as a threat. All right, go ahead.
okay, speaking of threats in music, shoutouts to the Twitter account Threatening Music
I
Notation.
hate threatening music notation. It
Ouch.
makes me mad.
It's
So,
so good.
great. I'm still disappointed because they didn't accept my submission. My friend got me a coffee mug. It has a C major scale with the solfege, which for those of you that don't know, that's you learn that like in elementary school. It's
So
the
do re mi.
Do, re, mi, fa,
Yep.
sol, la, ti, do,
yeah. And on it doesn't go through all of those. And like on the tonic, so it goes like so, fa, re, la, do, so. And it's like you're just putting words.
That's not even close. What did you...
Yelling that into my Xbox 360 Connect to do the voice commands.
I hope people at home are watching on speakers, because I would like to just make a quick shout out to, hey, okay Google, play Despacito. Alexa, play Yummy by Justin Bieber. I'm sorry.
Hey Siri. Siri, show me pictures of Chad from Nickelback.
Siri, whose phone is this?
We're a little silly with it in Music Block.
It's 2:06 a.m. We're at 1:29. I'm not sure how much more time you need, but I'm just giving you a time warning.
What was that?
We're at 1:29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much more you're doing on this, but I was just giving you a warning.
Okay. Well, we are almost done with this, actually.
Ooh, that's hype.
I'm just kind of cleaning up the notes here so that it's a little easier to read because, you don't like seeing triple flats.
I love seeing triple flats. They make my day, and not in a good way.
Let's see. A double flat. That's G. This should. Yeah, no, that's right. So for those of you that can kind of hear the keyboard, I'm just alternating between right arrow and backslash because that renames the notes.
Some very intense execution going on. The quiet time is very much appreciated.
Okay, and then just to double check here. Okay, so it's at B flat. If I'm not mistaken, that is the same as, yep, it's this right here.
We're so back.
We're back to our copy and paste.
Back on our BS.
And then we have a repeat. Where does that go? Oh, that just repeats the entire thing. Okay.
So, yeah.
So I can throw the repeat in there. What I'm going to do, play section one time. and let's see, E flat to a D. We do that. And you know what? I could call that done.
You could.
I could. Let's give it a listen and see what we think.
We need serious time right now. We should
Nope.
save also.
Yeah. Error ID moving file S2S. What?
I don't believe you.
There we go.
Why did that work? But the other one. Okay, never mind.
I don't know.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Finelli.
Let's give it a listen. Oh, now it works. Oh, that nice crunch.
I love crunch like that.
And it just ends just like that. I could continue on this. I also know it is like 10 after 2, and we are like two
And like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. And I'm sure some of the staff would like to go to bed, but
Is that an and time?
Is that time? Did we
let's
do
call it time.
And time.
Yeah,
We did it.
we did it, Reddit.
I definitely hoped.
Yeah, I guess so. Some final closing thoughts. Like I mentioned, I do this quite a bit. I did mention that I am going to be doing an arrangement of the other songs as well as I go on. I'll probably do them live on my stream whenever I start streaming again. Been hectic last couple of months. I recently moved. And then I do post. I sometimes post snippets on Twitter. Usually it's just memes.
I mean, that's what Twitter's for. Memes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's all memes. Yeah, it's if you're interested in any music, you would like to learn some music, or you'd like to learn how to do composition. The easiest thing, I guess, on closing thoughts, whenever I do composition arrangement, I ask myself 3 questions. Does it sound good? Does it sound good? Does it sound good? Does it sound good to the composer? Does it sound good to the ensemble? And does it sound good to the audience? That's the general rule, but, you know, just like any rules, they're meant to be broken. I will be back tomorrow night, or I guess tonight, because it is now Saturday morning, with Count Gooby, DJ Fatso, and Zojalix. We are going to be doing an Archipelago multi-world randomizer with Donkey Kong Country 3 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Highly recommend checking that out. That's going to be taking place in about 21 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds about right.
Provided we don't get pushed back on schedule. Things happen. But with that being said, I'll keep it nice and short. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you again tomorrow.